Welcome, crafters. This is Creative Juice by Lonnie, ready to share some masculine birthday cards with you today. And it seems fitting that I'm going to be using the Bistro Burger stamp set, since as I'm looking out the window, I can see 3 cows across the street and thinking, yum, lunch. My apologies to any of you who may be vegetarian, but is there anything better than a really good burger? Maybe you're a tofu burger person. You can make this into a tofu burger. That'll be just fine. Oh, we're going to have fun. Let's do some stamping. So, as I said, we're going to make a masculine birthday card from the Bistro Burger bundle that has been in our annual catalog. You've got fries and pickles and burgers. This could also be a Father's Day card. You could switch this up, make it into a Father's Day card. I'm also using the Timeless Plaid Designer Series paper. I'll show you a couple of versions when we're done of the different styles. Let's see if we can flip them over so you can see the back side of the Timeless Plaid. I love a good plaid, and this one really was very perfect for masculine cards. And it does use some of our outgoing 2022-2024 in colors, such as boho blue and Cajun craze, pebbled path. If you have those ink pads in your collection, you'll probably want to get the refills quickly because they will sell out before the next catalog begins, and stock up on cardstock, any embellishments in those colors that you want. So I've taken this little piece of Designer Series paper. They are 6 by 6 inches by 6 inches. And I've cut it, first of all, at 4 inches. So I had a 4 by 6. Then I cut off 3/4 of an inch. So now I have a 4 by 5 1/4, a 4 by 3/4, and a 6 by 2 piece of Designer Series paper. Hello, Elaine. Glad to see you here stamping with me on Monday, because what better to do at lunchtime on Monday than to be here to stamp with us. I've got a Pebbled Path card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. We're going to start with that. I'll move my other pieces off to the side. I actually think I'm going to use the back side of this paper today. I could use the front side, but I really think I want to use this back side because it almost looks like a tablecloth that maybe you'd see in a restaurant. So we'll put that on the front of our card, making a regular base with a layer on it. So there we have it. Cute. Starting off with that. Next, one of the fun things about this, let's see, let me show you the other pieces we need before I tell you the fun things. You'll need a piece for the inside of your card. This is also 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this is where that 1 inch little strip, 3/4 of an inch little strip comes in. I love not leaving any scrap unused. Oh, I should have used the other side. It's okay. This one is going to go on the inside of your dark card base, so you can write on it. This is where you could stamp Happy Father's Day if you wish to, or one of the other sentiments, or any sentiment in your possession. So we've got the outside, we've got the inside. I also have a 2.5 by 3 3/4 piece of basic beige, which I love using. It's one of my go-to neutrals right now if I don't want to use white or vanilla. So there's that. And then we have a 2 3/4 inch by 4 inch piece of Pebbled Path as well. So let's do some stamping. I'm going to do all my stamping in Pebbled Path. So this is a 1 ink pad project. I'm going to move my card base off to the side for a moment while I'm doing some stamping. I'm going to stamp the top of my burger, and I'm going to stamp it, actually, before I do that, I'm going to stamp my greeting. And since we're doing happy birthday, I wanted a happy birthday that went vertically like this. So I grabbed my So Sincere stamp set. There is not a happy birthday in the Bistro Burger, but there is one that says time to celebrate. But we're going to use the happy birthday and stamp it on the left, just like that. Then I'll use my burger and I'm going to stamp it kind of towards the top and off the side of this card. So I've got one right here. Now use a little Post-it note. I've got mine kind of stamped so I can see where I need to stamp it, and it's okay if you stamp right over the top of this piece right here. I'm just masking off the top because we're going to make this a double-decker burger, and you're going to kind of line it up with that first one. Just eyeball it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they've even got a little bit of stamping overlapping on it, but you can see now I have a big tall burger. And don't worry about even this middle part because we're going to cover it up, so no problems. Have you ever used our watercolor pencils to color with? These are fantastic when you have a really detailed image like this. It will really show the stamping detail very closely. Let me see. Can we make you closer? We can push it down a little bit while we're doing some of our coloring. All of these colors come from the watercolor assortment 1, except for this garden green. This comes from the watercolor assortment number 2, and I just wanted to have 2 different colors of green. I have old olive and garden green. We're going to start with, actually I'm going to start with my yellow. One of the keys for coloring with watercolor pencils is that you want to have kind of a dull tip. I think they blend really more smoothly with a dull lead than they do with a sharp lead. So I'm going to start by coloring wherever my cheese is melting out of this cheeseburger. I'm going to color that yellow and just really lay down some color right here. We've got dripping cheese. Then I'm going to add a little bit of pumpkin pie to make it look cheesy, cheddar cheesy. Not cheesy funny. Okay, next I'm going to take, this one is early espresso, and I'm going to, if you just follow where the details, the line images have been, hello Inika, where the line images or the line details are on the image itself, like the bun right here. Now I know that I want this, my bun is a brioche bun here. If you can see, it's got a little crack in the top where the bun cracked open as it was baking. So I'm going to leave that and just follow with my early espresso along some of these other lines. And I'm just going to do a little bit because I'm going to come back in with the pumpkin pie and do it again. I'm not even going to color this bun right here. But I'm going to come down to the bottom bun and do the same thing. And then I'm really getting it dark and wherever those lines are to really give it some shading. And then, oh, while I've got this one, let's do our burger too. So I'm going to come back in here under where the burgers are, both patties. What do you like on your burgers? Do you do cheese, pickles, onions? Do you do the works? Maybe what we should find out is what your husband likes. Do you know what, or your spouse, or your son, or your boyfriend, or whatever? Decide what they like and if this is going to be for them. Okay, so I've got some really dark coloring, and I'm pushing hard to make that really dark, and you can even kind of layer it on really thick, especially on the burger here. And the fun thing about using these pencils, they're very forgiving. Okay, so I'm going to go back in now with and just kind of rub this all together and fill it in. It's going to be a little bit lighter as I'm swirling. And that, because my lead is dull, it really does smooth it right out. There's no lines. If you do have a sharp tip on your lead, it will cause you to see some of those lines that you've drawn, and that's not quite as cool. This one you can smooth it out. Okay, so I've got my burgers all colored in. Let's bring it in a little closer so you can see. You can still see a little bit, but you can smooth these out just by taking your... All right, it's looking good, isn't it? Looking edible. You don't like burgers, Annika. Well, that's okay because you're not American. It'd be un-American to not like a burger. We eat a lot of them over here. Oh, and on a summer's day, I'm telling you. So now I'm coming back in with the pecan pie, and I'm just kind of lightly coloring this, pulling some of this the darker colors, and you can kind of make it darker as you meet the, what was the darker color? Early espresso coloring, kind of blend it out. I want it to be a little bit darker right here by these creases, so again, really forgiving. You can even erase it. Now, you can use these pencils with our water painters, or water pens rather, and then kind of blend it all out. But this doesn't even require those pens to be, you don't even have to use those pens. Just color with it, and which is good. And if you don't have water pens, I'm not even sure if they're still available anymore. Our supplier is going out of business, or they're stopping to make, they are ceasing making them. How do you say that? They'll be stopping production of our water pens. We're trying to source a new place to make the water pens. So you still can use your watercolor pencils even without them. I know you are Dutch, and that's why it's okay for you not to like burgers. Okay, we're almost done. Let's do, there's some tomatoes. I'm a person who does like everything on my burger, except olives. I don't like olives, but olives usually are just a garnish for the top. This stamp set and the dies actually have a little olive die cut that you can stick right into the top of your burger if you want to. I'm not going to do that today. So I've colored my tomatoes. I'm going to use the garden green on the pickles, really dark on the edges, and then just kind of fill in the rest of them. Same down here. Dill pickles, although I like dill pickles on a burger, but I like sweet pickles or sweet relish on my hot dogs, if I have a hot dog. And then finally, we're going to use the old olive for the lettuce. You could also use Granny Apple Green, but that's also in the watercolor pencil assortment too. So it's pretty fun and to just sit and color this fun burger as we go along here. We're almost done, and you don't even have to be too careful because it can kind of just blend into the next color and it all looks great. So there is my burger colored. Cute, easy, right? We can do that. Let's put this together on this layer. This is a very typical type card where you have just a couple of different layers on the front. Somewhere I have my dimensionals. Give me a moment. I must have set something down on top of them or put them away. I don't know. I found them. Also typical of crafters, putting something down and not being able to see what's right in front of our faces. So we'll add some dimensionals just to pop this off the card base. I love to it's an easy way to get some visual interest in your cards. So let me show you if you can see that you've got a little bit of space in your card. Kind of comes up off the top. For those of you who are just brand new stampers. Oh, you're an olive person. You can eat all of mine. I can have mushrooms. I used to not like mushrooms, but I actually like mushrooms now. Finally, for this card, and we're going to make a matching box in just a moment. I'll show you that. Again, I'm stamping in my pebbled path, and this one says, "Here's to a great guy." Let's see if I can get it on my what is this? This is a 5/8 inch peach strip. I'm just going to rip this side right here. And look at this. Nobody's even going to know that we didn't color that piece or that there was two burgers that met in a wood. So here's to a great guy, happy birthday card. And it's got the matching piece on the inside. Now you could use this extra piece that we had left over. You could use this on your envelope, but I'm going to actually use it on our box so that they match together in just a moment. But let me show you different paper, same paper. This is our timeless plaid as well. So you've got the pebbled path, and you've got the boho blue, which is both of them are colors that are leaving. I did use a strip of this one on here for the envelope because I'm not making a matching box for that one. But let me show you. Look.
It's a guest appearance.
Guest appearance by my husband, the handsome yet mysterious Cody Spendlove. There we go. Now he can't say that he's never been on my podcast. He likes to call it podcast. I said, it's just a live video, honey. Okay, so we're going to make a matching box. Let me get all my stuff out here. And we're going to start with, I'm going to use a Misty Moonlight piece of cardstock, and it is 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. Starting with that, let's do some scoring. I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored and move you up a bit. Pardon me, pardon the mess, pardon the... Ooh, all right, hopefully you can see better now. We're going to score this. Yes. This is the old 2468 box. Easy to remember. He is pretty sweet sometimes. So we're going to score it 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then we're going to turn and score at 2. Okay, I have to stop and look. What is it? 2, I want to say, I've got to look. This is what we're going to put in our box. This is some burger seasoning. So I'm going to say 2, 6 1/4. So you can measure whichever, if you're doing some seasoning. This is hamburger seasoning. So it's a perfect little gift to go with your card. 6 1/4 and 8. Then I'm going to turn it back, and up here on where there's 2 score lines, the 1/2 inch and the 6 1/4 inch, I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to score it at 1 inch down to the score line. You don't really have to do this, and 5 inches. So in one box, I'm going to score 1 inch in, and in the third box, I'm going to score 1 inch in, which is at 5 inches. Let me show you. So I just have a little score line right there. That just will help us in a minute when we want to do some gussets. We'll finish our gussets up just by taking those 2 little places that we have the 1 inch score line. I'm going to actually turn it over. On the back, take that score line and a straight edge and go to the neck from that score line, intersecting score line, down to the next score line diagonally. This becomes the gussets for our kind of a milk carton type container. Same thing here. We've scored in 1 inch down in the center of this box, or the top of the box. and then down to that. Let me see if I can show you here. Can you see how that looks now? Yep, you can. So we're going to skip one box here and do it here and here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. This is one that we used to make all the time, 2, 4, 6, 8 boxes, but it's been a while, and I thought, well, this would be perfect for a gift of some grilling spices, some hamburger seasoning. So I'm scoring on all of these score lines into the box the same direction, except for this last ½ inch that we did at the top. We're going to score it the other direction, or fold it the other direction, using our bone folder to make it nice and crisp. So on the opposite end from the top, which is these two pieces up here, we're going to just snip off this little rectangle section, maybe even miter a little bit in from the end. Just throw that piece away. And the rest of this we're going to put together. So if you lay it down flat, fold in the first large section, and you've got this little piece right here, that is where you're going to put your adhesive. Just like this, I'm using tear and tape because we're using a box. Expose your tear and tape and fold the other section in, and it will match up perfectly, creating your box. Ta-da! All right, this is where the two seams met in the back of my box. I want that to remain on the back side. So this means this is the back of my box. This is where I can see the seam right here. So I'm going to fold in. Oh, whoops, do you know what I forgot to do? No problems. I forgot to cut on these little things. And if you were watching me and going, wait, stop. Cut along the bottom edge. Yes, you're right. But there's no mistakes in stamping. Just an opportunity to do it again. So I cut on all of those edges, which I should have done before I put the box together. But I was so excited to put it together. Okay, here's my box again. Putting in the sides, putting in the back, pushing in the back, and then the only place you need a little bit of adhesive is right here on the bottom. And I'm doing it on the bottom because this will actually be the front. Let me show you why. All right, so here's one section where I added, they met, where the edges meet, and I closed it up together. And then here's the other section, so that when you look from the front, it's all a very nice, smooth fold. So all these folds are smooth and nice. Now watch this. If I just pinch it together, because I've already made my gussets, they're ready to go. Ta-da, just like that. So easy. Let's take our Designer Series paper and wrap it around our box. And of course, since it's only 6 inches, it's not going to go all the way around. I'm going to start on the front panel. I'm going to go just a little bit further than halfway. And then I'm going to use my fingers to give it a crisp fold on that side, on that edge. You do want to make sure you've got some right here at the end, some adhesive. And so you've got a little place right here that doesn't have anything on it. But you know what we're going to do? I'm going to show you. I've already got a piece. I've got one of my burgers colored, ready to go. Let's use the die. Let me show you some of the other dies while we're at it. So it has like a board. You could either make this into a tray or a board that your burger and fries and pickles and everything could sit on. It also has a pepper, a chili pepper. This is the die that makes the olives. One side you would do green, and this side you would cut out with red, and you could layer them up so you've got a little bit of pimento olive in the middle. It also has this really cool knife. So you can cut this knife out of silver foil paper and this one out of like a wooden paper, and you've got a really cool knife. By the way, if you're coming to, or if you came to our Stamp Fest in Utah County Saturday, or Southern Utah this Saturday, you'll be using this set, as a matter of fact. This one is a toothpick that you can put through your olives. You've got some flames. This one is actually part of this condiment cup that you can add you can cut it out of red to make it ketchup. In Utah, we have fry sauce. Everybody know what fry sauce is? It's a delicious mixture of ketchup, mayonnaise, a little tiny bit. I'll tell you the secret though in a second. A little bit of mustard, and then you get a little bit of dill pickle juice, just a little bit. You don't want it to be runny, but you add just a little bit of dill pickle juice, and that is the secret ingredient to fry sauce. And it also has some little banners here in this stamp set, or in this die set. So you mix that up, and it becomes an orange mixture that is delicious for your burgers or your fries. Or chips, if you're from England. All right, we're going to just die cut. We're going to die cut our burger so we don't have to fussy cut it. Voila, die cut beautifully. Well-loved plates. And you can use your scoreboard. I'm going to just use my scoreboard and score this at 1 1/8. This first little thing right here, just in half on the front, because it will give you a nice crisp fold to go around the edge of your box, just like this. Isn't that cute? I just think it's fun. Now we could pop this up if we wanted to. Maybe I do. Why not? Let's use some dimensionals. Here's a cool thing about this die cut. It actually cuts a little slit so you can stick that knife or your toothpick with the pimentoed olive on the top right through that little slit on the piece that your die cut out of your burger. Okay, so we'll just put this right here. And it's okay that this side doesn't come all the way. What we're going to do to finally, let me put your stuff inside. Put your gift inside. Pinch the top. I'm going to take just a little bit of our wild wheat ribbon, maybe 4 inches. And before I do that, I need a what is this? I need a tag. That's what I need. Let's use that other piece in here that says time to celebrate, because I didn't use it on my coordinating card. I'll put it on the back side of this one to stamp. I'm going to stamp it in the middle so I have room to rip one end to match the card, and then a place that I can also staple this together on the top. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. Just kind of let it come over the top a little bit. Pinch this all together. And so this does not have any bows, which my husband informs me is not a masculine thing. So they don't want bows. They just want, a little bit of ribbon is fine. Sorry, I'm moving it up just a smidge. I want to be able to see my... No, I still want to go down. Oh, the dilemmas of paper crafters. Okay. There we go. Just staple that right on there. What do you think? Time to celebrate. Now you've got clean up my mess. Everyone, I wanted to do a double decker. I could still add another burger if I wanted to right here. Or I could put another burger over here, but I don't want to. I love it just the way it is. I love it just the way it is. So there is my cute little box. That has a burger that wraps around the outside, the coordinating designer series paper. So very cute. Jammy. Is that what you call fry sauce, Inika? Is jammy? I didn't know that. It's delicious. Delicious, whatever it is. All right, this will all be on Creative Juice by Lonnie later this afternoon. You can also order all of these supplies on my website there. I will also on my on the YouTube channel. I will also link to all of these supplies so you can just click and add to cart. You can remove them from your cart if you already have them. But hopefully you'll enjoy just seeing something fun for a little birthday. Happy birthday for a guy. Sometimes we just struggle with men's cards, but I think Stampin' Up! Does such a great job of coordinating our products that it shouldn't be difficult. Fried sauce? Is that how you say it? Friet, probably friet sauce. I practice a lot of my foreign languages since I was born in Mexico. Have to have a little bit of ability to speak in a different language. Thank you, Inika and Elaine, for being here, and for all of those who are being silent observers or replay warriors. I appreciate your comments, and I certainly appreciate your support and being here just so we can craft together on Mondays. I will be back next Monday for our last kind of birthday month celebration, all sorts of ideas for birthdays. I think I will be sharing with you some things that you can mail in a card that are flat. And there are so many more than I imagined. I've been collecting ideas over the couple of months, and you're going to be loving it. You're going to love it. So we'll see it later. So it is friet sauce. Got it. Happy day, everyone. Go make something and share it with someone you love.